So we're going to jump into the last panel of the TUS House experience. This panel is on what collaboration really takes, and it is a product of the US Space, Houston Exponential, and Freedmanstown Conservancy. So our moderator is Laura Onyeneho. We've been trying to get her name right for a long time, okay? She is with the Defender, and she's going to be an amazing moderator today. So please welcome to the stage Laura and her panelists. I almost had it.
You almost had it. You almost did. All right. Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. It is afternoon still, right? All right. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Laura Onyeneho. Thank you. You missed a couple of syllables. I am a multimedia journalist. I'm with the Defender Network newspaper, Houston's leading all-Black news publication. Yes, clap to that. I'm also an event host. It is indeed an honor to be here with you guys to celebrate the US space. I need y'all to give a round of applause to this space. This is a place of innovation. This is a place where we all can come together and bounce off ideas. I've been trying to keep up for the last couple of days, the magnificent things that this team has been able to do for us in this space. So please give a round of applause, Legina. Thank you. The whole team, thank you. You know, and what better way to close out this panel discussion than to talk about, what collaboration really takes. So I'm about to ask all of you guys, how many of you guys have had an idea and said, all right, where do I start? Who do I work with? Who do I trust? All of that. That's me all the time. And so right now we can think about collaborations. What can we do as far as who do we want to work with? Will this experience be a balanced experience? What does this really take for us to be in a united front with whatever you guys are working with? And so for us to answer this question, I'm going to have our wonderful panelists come on board. The first up is Natara Branch, CEO of Houston Exponential. Yes. Anywhere. Second is Sharon Fletcher, Executive Director of the Houston Freedmanstown Conservatory. Hi. Next is Kodi Bailey, COO of Equal Liberty Branch. Yep. And Sly Roque, founder of the Clever Group. Woo, woo. I need more energy. Yes. Okay. Oh, yes. I'm going to get a photo op real quick. Hello. Yes.
Maybe not yet. That's the next one.
All right. So now that we have all of our experts here on the floor, I want us to be able to, have this discussion, right? This is going to be a round robin. And I'm going to ask a question, and don't be shy. This is all, intimate space. We're all here to learn. My first question to you guys is, how does successful collaboration look like in your line of work as leaders in the community?
Okay, so I'm going to start it off. Hello, everyone. How are y'all doing?
Doing good.
So I spent 19 years in sports, and so I am loud, so I expect y'all to be loud as well, okay? Halfway, because I'm deaf. All right. So collaboration looks like to me what exactly Legina does. When I got back to Houston, the first person to call me was Legina. And she gave me the line of the lay of the land, if you will, and said, things have worked here, things have not worked here, but I am with you to try to do things. And I think that to me was like the spirit of why I love Houston so much, is because no matter what has gone wrong or what has gone right in this ecosystem, there are people like Legina, like Layla, who's back there, like Muriel, who's back there, like Kodi, who's next to me, who say, I don't care what it is for me, but if we can do some things together that is going to raise both of our boats, I want to do that. And I think that to me is that pure intention. And that's the biggest word, that intention to make sure that we're moving our culture forward without self-preservation. And I think that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, let's round of applause. Right? Come on. Oh, it's my turn now? I got to follow that? All right. Well, hey, let's, again, my name's Kodi Bailey. And as far as what successful collaboration looks like, I will say um, it felt right when I moved back to Houston 2 years ago after 24 years of service in the Air Force. Collaboration there felt forced, right? It was very deliberate and it's intentional. You're supposed to work with this organization, that one, this one, this one. It was right there, right? The relationships that you had were, I mean, it was artificially put together for you to work with the certain organizations in order for us to, expand and accomplish our mission. But it's different being in a ecosystem like Houston, Texas, where those relationships that you have, that collaboration needs to be very deliberate, intentional, and authentic. And that's one thing that I learned, and that was the first thing I said on when the company we had on Black Entrepreneurs Week, and I said, man, it feels good to be home because I left for 24 years, and I'm seeing us work together. I'm seeing a community that cares, right, for the success of entrepreneurs throughout the spaces of Houston and afar. So I think that's what I noticed immediately. One thing that I will just add on to successful collaboration is it's when internal and external stakeholders actually have an opportunity to contribute. When I think about our relationships with whether it's the entrepreneur that has a great idea or it's JP Morgan Chase that says, hey, we believe in you. Hey, but all of us come in the same room in order to bring the right programming and the right resources and tools to the entrepreneurs that we serve every single day. So that's what I think successful collaboration looks like. Everybody has a voice. Everybody has a seat at the table.
Thank you for your service.
So Kodi actually stole my word. Which absolutely means that it is right. Collaboration, definitely for me, in terms of working in various spaces, authenticity is like really, truly important. I feel like, when you're collaborating with someone, you definitely have to be able to be in a trustworthy space with people. You have to feel like you can communicate with them. And so when you're your most authentic self and you have some authentic goals or achievements that align with each other, one organization to the other, I think that's how you get to that side of success. So, when I think about collaboration, it's like this beautiful dance between strategy and outcomes for the organizations. And I think in the middle of that dance is that authenticity and that conversation and communication that will help build out what that success looks like collaboratively for those two individual organizations, companies, or two people that are coming together. I think it's really important. And I love the fact that Legina does this and just brings people together. Where would we be without people? I need you, girl. So literally, Cass is in the audience. She's sitting here. I didn't introduce myself, but you did. But I work for the Houston Freedmanstown Conservancy, and it is the oldest Black settlement in Houston. And one of the just kind of founding principles of Freedmanstown was folks working together. And that's the reason why you have that blueprint of this historical community that brought forth schools and churches and banks and homes and all of those things. We can't do that stuff without working together. So I'll take it back to that. So I'll pass the mic.
Nice. And you guys said really great answers, kind of the things that I was going to say. But a thing that sticks out to me is like minds. And finding people in line with your mission so that you can all drive that mission forward. And it looks like community. I said to myself last week that my words going into the next year is collaboration and community. So I'm glad that we're talking about this. And I love what Legina is doing. I was literally just complimenting you the other day and just saying as I've been working and partnering with Legina, it feels like you were saying home. I think it was another situation that you were talking about. So if we can continue to create spaces that are that feel like community, that we can feel ourselves, we can, I believe, shine the brightest in ourselves, and we're able to push everything moving forward.
Thank you all for the responses. You love that? I hope you guys are taking notes, matter of fact. We're all here to learn. Now I want to just get down to the nitty gritty, the tough the obstacles, the challenges. There's one thing to have an idea. You want to know you're working with a particular client or you're working with a particular business partner, and you're like, you want to know what? How do we blend and work together? And see Sharon has the mic because I definitely wanted to ask you with the conservatory. How is it like making sure that you're preserving the culture and the history of the conservatory, and then looking at people who you want to work with, and they probably have an idea, but you want to know what? It's not aligning with what you want to, hold for the conservatory. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So really, at the beginning, when you started to say that, it started to make me think about the different stakeholders. So the community of Freedmanstown is a very complex place, right? Because it is a historical asset, and you have folks who have lived in that community for years. Literally, there are folks who've been in the community for 6 generations. So it's this balance act between having reverence for the space and then also being able to take risk in the space, especially as you think about building. And so I'm saying that because I wanted to think about the community collaboration first, because that has to pass the litmus test in order for us to be able to do certain things, being respectful of what the community is. But it's also thinking about collaboration from the perspective of organizations who want to work with us. It's really important that organizations understand what we do. Sometimes individuals may approach us and they kind of are putting our work within a box, right? It's like, oh, you guys actually do activations or you only do events and things like that, without understanding that we actually do capital improvement work too. There's preservation-driven economic revitalization that is happening in Freedmanstown. And our organization has literally been able to leverage $10 million worth of investment over the last 5 years into the community. And with those investments, those relationships, those partnerships, those funders have requirements of things that have to happen. And so it's really important that we're able to bridge that gap between what happens between us, the organization who is there to be community-centered, to think about the community as we forge forward, along with the community and being conversation with them. And then it's also what we communicate as an organization to those who are funding and are partnering with us to do this work. So one of the things that's really important is public-private partnerships to the work that we do. And those can present challenges in itself because you have to be able to get through, bureaucracy, Lord. So the city, and I'm not talking about the city. I used to work for the city for 17 years, so they can say whatever, in response to the things that I'm about to say right now, but things do get bogged down in channels when people can't understand or don't appreciate what's happening. So those, going back to what I think it was either you or you said in terms of relationships. So the relationships that I've built over my 17 years before I went into nonprofit has helped us be able to get over a lot of hurdles and challenges. But some of those challenges include people not understanding the work that we do. They don't understand why it's important to preserve a place like Freedmanstown because it is 160 years. Y'all clap, 160 years old. It is. It's the oldest settlement post Civil War. So it's important that we keep that place intact. And sometimes people are just like, oh, let's just throw out the old and come in with the new. But that doesn't work for the preservation, not only of the community, but of us. And I'm talking about us, Black folk. Y'all, I don't want to go on my soapbox, Lord. I don't want to do that. But those are some of the challenges, just really getting people to understand what it is that we do so that we can partner together and understanding what outcomes are necessary for us to be successful as an organization and how that impacts the community.
Oh, all of us? Oh, okay. I didn't know if everybody was answering. Sorry. I've had a day, boy. Challenges. I think the biggest challenge for me in this ecosystem, just being truthful, is that some people just can't get out of their own way. And when I talked about that, what collaboration looks like, it has to be not about me, but about we. I worked for the NFL for a number of years, and everybody, if you're from Texas, they either love or hate Jerry Jones. And I always use him as an example because love him or hate him, one thing that I appreciated that he understood was that the Dallas Cowboys valuation, when you're talking numbers, dollars and cents, only goes up when the whole 32 goes up. So even though he's a very popular team at the top of the valuation chain, it's not about only the Dallas Cowboys. He understands that he has to be a part of the 32 or 31 other teams in order for his valuation. So that's what we used to call the power of the 32. Here, from a challenge perspective, people say, I'm one. So they say, oh, I've built this. I've built this. So Legina, everybody keeps throwing her name out, can say, I've built the TUS House. And everybody else, whatever. Or someone else can say, I built the Ion. And they can go on and whatever. Or they can say, I built this. But when you have that I mentality, you get absolutely nowhere. When we have the we can build this together, or I can support you and you can support me, that's how you go far. But getting people to get that mentality it sounds good, but it doesn't happen in practical sense. And so I think that's the biggest challenge for me in Houston is getting people out of being so afraid of don't steal my idea. Don't, I don't want anybody to, overshine me because I've been doing this for 20 years and now you come for 2 years and you're going to do something. And so now you're going to be bigger than me and I can't handle that. That ego is what keeps people down. And I don't know if that's called crabs in a barrel, but that is some people in Houston.
Well, well then, I'll just add on to that. I mean, because that is something that the challenges that we see with Equal Liberty and the work that we do in the community is everyone wants to come to us for, some type of collaboration, right? But what they see is, or at least what we hear is that, well, y'all have the bag, right? You're the ones that, I got your JP Morgan Chase is sponsored by and everyone else. So, hey, how can you pay for my services, right? Yeah. Immediately, not understanding how there's a process. There was a process to build that relationship and build that trust from that organization specifically and others as well. But we all need to know our worth when we're coming to try to collaborate, but take the time to truly understand what that organization is about, an organization like myself, what we're doing inside the community, where our value is, and then how you can fit within that structure and bring a service. But sometimes that service may not be because you think we have the bag, right? Mm-hmm. May not be, hey, my price is going to be $1,500 or $15,000. Or you do photography, and because you got Black Entrepreneurs Week, it's $80,000, and it's like, wait, yeah, what's going on here? Like, no, we don't. It's not like that. But what we can do is let's start off building a relationship that, hey, you crawl, you walk, you run. Let's understand your services, what it is that you bring. Hey, let's put a little bit of sweat equity into it. I mean, think about Sharon's an ED, and she's volunteered for an organization like mine. Right, because she has a services, she has a venue and a mission that truly align what we were doing. So we've been partners for like the last 3 years, and where we help each other. So I just think about that as far as what obstacles can get in the way with someone like our company and entrepreneurs that want a seat at the table, and we're here to give you a seat at the table. But I promise you, you would gain more sometimes when we don't have that take mentality and have that give mentality. Right.
My thoughts echoes Natara's pretty well, actually. I think, and you mentioned it, Kodi, I think people forget about building relationships. This isn't just an instant thing. And I think people, nowadays are just so used to the convenience of everything just being at their fingertips. And especially with the creator economy coming up and things like that. So you're able to get things quicker and faster. We were just talking about this in the last session, but I think that has been my struggle is I'm finding like minds now. So me and Legina have actually partnered on several events. So that's been great for me as we built this relationship. But I think people will need to get back to that. That's what I would say.
Thank you very much for those responses. And now I want to get to the whole topic of trust and communication, right? I mean, I can say for myself as a creative, where I've been able to for lack of a better word, donate my time or barter the skills that I have for another maybe organization, association, or brand, what have you. But then the results come back and it's like one-sided. You know, you put in your 100%, you do everything, you know, you see the vision for them, and you're hoping that they see the vision for you, and then they get everything, and you're just like, you just left me high and dry. So for you, how does trust and communication shape collaboration outcomes?
I would say if it feels like it's not working out, even from the communicative standpoint, I'm out. Like, that's very important for me to be able to trust you in what we're building, because this may be long term. This may be something that'll work out for both of us. So I need you to be putting in the same effort as I am, and us to be in like mind. So, which is what I've said several times, but it's really important to me, because when you're not, you see what you're saying with people being one-sided and things like that. So I think it's very important to make sure that everybody understands the expectations that needs to be had on the project or whatever the thing is that we're doing together. So that's what I would say too.
In terms of that, you know, I just trust and communication are like the foundation of being able to do partnerships and collaboration. You know, if you can't do that with trust in mind, then it's hard for you to kind of feel empowered to build something with someone. Or you feel really agitated because now I got to micromanage this. And if I got to micromanage it, I don't want it. I am good. I'm like you. I'm checking out. I am done. Yeah, by the way, one of my interpersonal tests say that I'm the most unbothered person in the whole wide world. But I know it's because, you know, I've had 6 children and a husband for 28 years. So I know how to be unbothered. Y'all don't tell them, but I tune them out all the time. So I'm saying from that perspective, like if it feels like really, really hard and I have to micromanage it all, that means that one, we're not in alignment. We're not in alignment. And in order to collaborate or partner in any type of way, there has to be some alignment or some synergy. There has to be something that is bringing you together. And if you can't find it, it's not a good fit. And so I'm just saying, like, I'm the person, I like to manage my energy too. So I want to be able to put my energy into something that I know is going to go somewhere, that will have the great outcomes that we are seeking collectively as a partnership, because outcomes should not be successful one side or the other. Like when we show up for each other, if we're partnering, I should not have more play than you have more play. Like if I'm looking for stats that will help leverage my organization, I'm just saying to make money. I'm just being very general in this regard, because for us as a nonprofit organization, a lot of things do translate into dollars and into funders. And if it's not helping us be able to do that, then for me, it's like, why am I here? I am wasting my time. I can be using my time to build in other places. So just being very intentional about how you use your collaborative and partnership time.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I know for myself and Philip Yates, he's our co-founder, CEO of the company. One thing that we're big on is we do have to step outside of the Zoom call and actually build a relationship in the physical domain as well. You know, so we like to partner with the folks we hang out with, right? And one thing I would say, yeah, Sharon, yeah, she cool, you know. but we like to build not only just the professional relationship, but that personal relationship where again it feels like home when we're working together. But then on top of that, I would say that when it comes to trust, I met a gentleman through another one of my partners. And the first thing he says is, hey, you know what? Give me a call. I want to sit down. I want to learn what it is that you do. He's not trying to steal ideas or anything like that. He's in a completely different sector of the industry that I'm in. But we sit down, I go through, hey, this is what we have going on with Equal Liberty. This is the work that we produce. And then he says, okay, I'm breaking that down. He said, as far as how we can work together, this guy sat there and broke down my system. And where I had challenges, he put 5 talented brothers with tech, products, services, and even experience in front of me. And he connected me immediately. through email, and he said, I need you to follow up. You got 24 hours. Follow up with them. So we follow up. We met in person to each one of them. And the first thing that ends up happening, they say, hey, I know where I fit within your organization. I know how we can help you grow and scale. And guess what? I'm not asking you for a dime, right? They've already done and elevated and gotten to certain levels. And the first thing they do is offer their services to help me get there too. So that was something that I noticed. It wasn't like they didn't come to the table to asking, this is what I need from you. If I want to do this for you, this is what I expect for a return. They know that return on investment is going to come. And that may not be tomorrow. That may not be a week. That may be 5 years down the road. But each one of these brothers that I met, I'm telling you, powerful. And they're going to help us continue to grow something special. And I believe that's where that trust comes in. Okay.
I would do 3 things from a trust perspective. So Houston Exponential, if you're not aware, is an organization that was started by the city in 2016 to get Greater Houston more startups. I'm Black, but it's not a Black organization. It was created to get all of this very diverse region to start building more startups, getting funders, founders, all that kind of good stuff. So everything that we do is in collaboration with other people, everything that we do. And so when I hear you say, how do you trust people? There's a lot of history before me. There were 3 CEOs before me, and there were a lot of trust that was broken. So I had to restore a lot of things. And the one thing I think that how I've repaired a lot of relationships is because I've come with experience. And every time we sit down, it's like, how does this become a win-win situation? Because I've always thought and I've always operated in my professional life in a sense that in order for us to get to a good outcome, we have to be clear about what we both want. We have to be clear about what we're going to bring to the table. Because I believe when someone says you can't trust her, a lot of those times is because you weren't clear. You weren't clear, I need money. You weren't clear, I need this shine. You weren't clear. You were like, oh, I'm going to help him and hopefully he puts me on. And then when he doesn't put you on, you get mad. How you going to make him, make that make sense, right? And so if I'm clear with him, hey, Kodi, I'm going to be a part of what you guys got going for Black Entrepreneurship Week, but I really need my company to get this, this, and this. And when I do that, that builds trust because now he knows why I'm at the table. He's not like, I think she just wants to get in the camera shot. Move over. Now he knows what I want. And now I can make sure that I give him, what he wants from him. So that's number 1. The second one, and my great legal friend in the back would cheer this one on, is getting in documentation. You talked about money. I can't go into a relationship with you talking about we're going to do 50-50. And then when the $1 million come in, you'd be like a 60-40. See, what happened was I paid for those Cheetos and then that water, that can do, no. But when we have it in writing, she can't say it was 60-40. No, because, honey, it was right here. It says 50-50, right? And so that's the other thing. We need to stop doing this whole, Chat GPT, if I'm allowed to say it, or I just signed up for Gemini this morning. It's like, I am the best Chat GPT lawyer in the state of Texas. She told me you can't say it. I have had a whole entire court battle on Chat GPT. I am now a lawyer. But my thing is, it takes one prompt to get an MOU. It takes one prompt to get at least some understanding and a phenomenal lawyer to back you up. But it does take one prompt to at least get an understanding of what we've got going. So don't go into relationships. You go into a marriage with a contract. Why would you go into a business without a contract? Just make sure you have it in writing. And then the third thing I would say from a trust relationship is be trustful yourself. If you continue to be around people who you're like, I can't trust him, I can't trust her, maybe there's a mirror to be found.
Shoot.
Mic drop, mic drop, mic drop. Slide, you already said yours. I just wanted to also say we're speaking of apps and things, productivity, managing time, and people coming up to you to make your process easy for you. What are some of those communication tools or tech tools or things that you guys use to make your jobs easier? Since this is tech, We're going to talk about those things that make your job efficient, collaboration-wise.
I like to say I can do all things through ChatGPT. But well, you just said you were a lawyer. ChatGPT,
bleep that out.
But no, seriously, I use ChatGPT as like my assistant. It is like my creative buddy. I'm a creative, so that's where I bounce off my outrageous ideas on. And I use ChatGPT. I use plenty of tools. I use maybe not as much. Well, ChatGPT is my AI tool. I use Gamma for presentations, PowerPoint presentations. You can do that in 10 minutes. So if you need that tool, Gamma AI. Presentation, social media content and things like that, documents to beautify them. Another tool I use is Trello for task management. I've used ClickUp too before. There's plenty of tools. There's literally no reason for you to say I can't do it at this point in this time and age. Because even if you can't, ChatGPT can walk you through it and walk you through finding a person to do whatever it is that you need. But there's too many tools nowadays for you to say that you can't do it or build the business or start the business. I like to say this is the best time for you to be yourself in this, in this state right now.
And even you, like as a business owner, entrepreneurship wasn't your go-to at first, right? It just fell on your lap. So how did that work with you being able to say, okay, all right, the pandemic, trying to launch this business, who do I need to work with, or what do I need to do to be able to move my goal or my brand forward? How did that work for you?
Yeah, I got laid off of COVID, and God has a funny sense of humor, and so I have looked for jobs in between then, and I never got anything. But I think God was calling me to be into entrepreneurship, and that's the journey that I've been taking ever since then. And because of the tools that keep on popping up, like now we have ChatGPT over the last couple of years that everybody is kind of flocked to. That to me, it was God saying, "You don't have an excuse. You have everything you need to be able to do what I'm asking you to do. So do it, Moses." So that's been pretty much my journey, and having resources and tools. And now I'm even building my MVP because there is no reason why I can't build an MVP now, because you have Bolt, you have Lovable, which will build your websites and your AI, your apps too. And they're even building tools that'll help you build things on the blockchain from an AI perspective. So there really is no excuse. Trust me, I've tried to find them. So it's just been an interesting journey, but there's plenty of tools out there. And if you don't know, Google ChatGPT will point you in those directions. And that's how I've gotten to the place that I am in today.
Look at the tool giving you the answer. Yeah. The answer giving you the answer.
Yeah.
For us, with Freedmanstown, one of our larger partnerships is with the Contemporary Arts Museum Houston. And that work is complex, 3 phases. It's artist work. It is capital improvement work. It's a bunch of things. And so what we found very, very useful is Monday.com, which is a project management tool. It helped us across organizations. So we were able to create a co-space in Monday.com that helps us to organize all of the things, including all of the tasks that are in between the complexity of the phases, along with, making sure that people are doing exactly what they should be doing. Because, it's hard when you have a whole team and everybody's focused on one thing, and then you look up, there are 10 things not done. But Monday.com has been the project management tool that we've used, including all of the AI stuff as well. ChatGPT, Copilot is one that I go to, even outside of Freedmanstown, being a business owner, I use Copilot quite a bit. And then Gamma. I was introduced to Gamma by Tatiana. She's standing over there to the left. And I was like, girl, what is this? I don't know about this. This seems like this isn't working. But it was literally putting in 3 things, and I had a whole 10-page presentation. I was like, wow, okay, this is great. But I think it's also important, all of the tools that we decide to use, make sure that you're using the AI tools. Now, I am not the expert to tell you what to turn on and turn off. That's the other folks like Legina who knows all the things. But I see that a lot of us don't activate the AI tool within the tools that we're using, like Monday.com. I've kind of challenged my team to do that because a lot of us don't know how to build boards within Monday.com. And so if your board is not communicating the right things, then what's the purpose of actually having the project management tool? So using those AI tools within the tool is critically important as well.
Yeah. As far as tools, I mean, y'all hit it. But apparently, the tool that I need the most is an AI assistant that's going to manage my calendar and make phone calls for me. So, but I don't know if y'all know of that tool. Please, drop it on me because I can do a better job there. But as far as we use the Monday and we obviously Zoom and all those and Canva. I find out that I have some creative spirit as well and build flyers and all that kind of stuff too. Anyways, you start being a jack of all trades after a while, right? When you're an entrepreneur. But the tool that I'd like to, just take a moment to talk about is the tool that Equilibrity is building right now. The Equilibrity mobile app and the EQ card that's coming, where we're personalizing the wealth building journey of undercapitalized communities. So it's a tool that it takes powerful data from the federal, state, and local levels, and being able to find Black and brown people and those that are in under-resourced communities in order to onboard them to our platform and find out what are those goals, what are those challenges that they're facing, what are those assets that they need in order to build that legacy that we're all always talking about, and then being able to help them with financial information, financial literacy, as well as utilizing artificial intelligence and machine learning in order to basically have the right behaviors and create the right habits for those individuals so they can unlock access to capital and be able to own that home or be able to get access to that small business loan. So that's what we're building right now. And I think that's a tool that all of us can probably use. And then we know someone that could use it as well. So that's what's to come. And we're looking at the second quarter of next year. So thank you.
So we talked about a lot of the technology pieces of it, but I won't go into that. We talked about ChatGPT, and I just learned Notion. So that's another one. But I think we can't move away from this without talking about the actual collaboration of talking. It may not be tech. It may not be, the innovation or the next best thing. But I've witnessed all of these folks that are down. There's 47,000 people that were expected to come this week to Houston, Texas. And I was in the convention center with my nephew on Tuesday, who is a techie. And I just saw young people against the wall on their phone at a networking event. Then I got in line with him to go at the job fair, and all of them were standing in the line like this. And I'm like, how do you network? Okay, y'all can't do Zoom in the line. You can't do Monday in the line. Y'all have 47,000 people in addition to the 1 million Black people that live in Houston, Texas, and y'all aren't even talking to each other. And so I would say from a collaboration perspective, don't lose the art of talking to each other.
Thank you so much. And so I want to come full circle, the us space. I want to talk about this space. Every time I come, like the last time I came in here, I was like, okay. And I came back in here and I said, what did they do with this space? I want you to talk about how you guys maximize the space, the use of this space as a collaborative, effort for what you guys are doing in each and one of your endeavors, the impact that this space has on you guys, whether it be a relationship with the team or the space in general.
Okay. So I'll jump in there. And again, I met Legina maybe close to 3 years ago. And just not only just the us space, but the person behind it. She's just done an amazing job where we've been able to utilize this space for our Black Entrepreneurs Weeks, year after year, as well as where we brought in Black at Microsoft and had, tech talks, engaging in, women entrepreneurs that are out there. And one thing that I would say, one, it's a beautiful space. And there's a lot that that she has going on here. But when you have access to the US space, you also have access to Legina herself. There was a day where myself and Muriel came over here and we did some brainstorming on our youth entrepreneur and workforce development program that we have in A-Leaf. And we're talking about Legina sat there and was on that whiteboard and going to work, on how we can partner up and how we can bring in this organization and that partner in order to bring this thing to life. So again, when you're talking us space, man, you get Legina as well. And I think that's what makes this space so powerful.
So yeah, echoing what Kodi has said, Legina is an amazing connector. I met her specifically through Cass, who's sitting here in the front row, who's also an amazing community builder and connector. Legina just, really being able to express like vision of collective like approach to working. I mean, we've met here several times to use this space in order to get some of our collaborative thoughts out. Or I just come in here and just post up at a back table. And she's just like, "Are you working?" "Yes, I'm working. Thank you." So it because she really makes you feel at home. And so not only is it a space where you can collectively get together with others to build ideas, but it's also a place where you can build community as well.
I don't know where she is, but she owes a lot of people checks up here. No, I am going to take credit for her being in this building. That's because she's not in the room. But anyway, so we, Houston Exponential works with all of the buildings across the region, not just the city. And so the TUS House is a part of that. So it's on our website and for any entrepreneur because we find ourselves to be the navigation or the wayfinding sign for entrepreneurs that are coming into the greater Houston area. And so if you're looking for a co-working space or if you're looking for a home or a community, we point you to where you should be. And so I take privilege in pointing people to Legina. I've had Legina speak to other areas outside of the Houston area that we're trying to help her to expand and to look at some areas. But all of that to say, I would also say, if you are looking, not only Legina, but just specifically because we're talking about her, support. You guys, I'm not talking to you, but I'll talk to the folks in the camera like they do at church. I'll talk to the folks at the camera. Make sure you come. Like, even if I can just pop in my head for one of her events and just say, "Hey, I'm supportive of you, sister," just support her because this is a hard journey. This is a hard building. We were building an ecosystem within this building, and Legina was one of the first folks that came over here, and she has done an incredible job in building this space out, but she needs support. She needs support from you plus one. How about that? You're here, so I'm not fussing at you, but you plus one. And you in the camera plus two, since you're not here.
Legina, we talking about you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I've probably known Legina the shortest amount of time. I just met her over the summer on a podcast that was here. It's been an amazing journey and partnerships since then. We've partnered on several events, like I mentioned earlier. And one thing that she mentioned to me, because I actually taught a branding and marketing seminar here about branding, and we were talking about it. She mentioned that this is a place actually for ADHDers, and that's something that resonated with me in my mental health journey, my newer journey in that, and understanding that I am an ADHD person. So yeah, I've done several events, just like I've told you. So we've done co-working days. I've done the lunch and learn, and just like I've done the lunch and learn today and done some of the panels during this week. But this is a great space for you to use, a flex space for you to use. As you can see it set up here, you've seen, health and fitness go on in this space as well. You have podcast rooms and things like that. So yeah, definitely tap in. And like she said, in the camera, plus two because you're not here.
Awesome. I'm just trying to see how the time is for one question, and then we're going to go to you guys. All right, now. So my final question to you guys. What advice would you give attendees about building meaningful relationship? I just want one piece of advice from each and one of you guys that they can take away from here. And what would that be?
I would say be the person you want to collaborate with. Be the trustworthy person, like Natara mentioned earlier. You have to be what you're seeking. I don't want to be on my soapbox. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean,
You gonna do us like that, huh, Scott?
I mean, you said it. I think for all four of us up here, I think that's really important that you are that person that you want to collaborate with, and just being intentional about your collaborations, understanding what you want the outcomes to be. I think really thinking about the partnership or the collaboration being a win-win moment for both of you all and what you are getting out of that partnership. But she actually said it.
She did say it, but I mean, I feel like I gotta say something.
Yeah, I mean, I did too.
Hey, I'll just throw this out there. Like, be careful with, mission creep as well. Because we see, I see what the power that you bring. I see the work that you do in the community. I see your skills and talents but that doesn't mean that we have to take on everything, right? And as entrepreneurs, like, again, because there are resources tied to it, there are organizations that are willing to help, different mission sets. Don't forget that your mission, hey, whatever you dreamed of then, stick with it. Just give it time, because you'll start shaping and start becoming something that you may not recognize over the years as you're thinking about collaborations. Because we keep getting fed so much information that it can morph into something that you don't recognize yourself and you don't understand what your mission is no longer. So don't lose that value. Just stick what you do and be committed to that, and then find us to help you, okay?
And the only thing that I would add on that is just win. People like winners. Winning cures a lot of things. And people want to collaborate with you when your collaborations win. So if she and I are winning, she's going to want in, and she's going to want in. So just y'all get together and win. Let's just win, y'all.
Absolutely.
All right, please give a round of applause to all of our speakers. We got time for one question. I see, nice lady right there.
You all have all kinds of events, and you talked about what's coming up in the near term.
Okay, now.
Sell
your market. Sell it.
So I'm the founder of the Clever Group, a creative branding agency, and we focus on brand activation. So we've been doing a couple of things a month. One thing we're building right now is a community called Drink and Think. And it's where you're able to come, rally behind people and champion their cool ideas. And it's in a relaxed environment. There's investors there that are looking to hear pitches. There are other people who have really great ideas. And it's just a relaxed feel. And it's becoming this really at-home community. So come join us. We'll be doing our next one November 19th. And it's drinkandthinkexperience.com and Drink and Think Experience on social media on Instagram.
Awesome. So for the Conservancy tomorrow, we are hosting Bricks Brunch and Bites. Essentially, it's a networking opportunity where we will be we're partnering. He will be with us tomorrow. Equal Liberty, the US Space, and Black at Microsoft. All four of us are event partners for this brunch networking moment. So you can come out, grab your tickets at HoustonFreemanstown.org. There's some that are still available. Then also, I know that this is not an event, but I need y'all to go out and vote. It is the event in terms of us having fun. It can be fun to vote, but tomorrow is the last day for early voting. And November 4th is the voting day. People, please go to harrisvotes.org, get your sample ballot, see what's on the ballot, research what's on the ballot. There are like 17 propositions on the ballot from the state of Texas that are impacting the Constitution. So make sure that you go out and you research them. Now, Black Girls Who Brunch, she actually did a great kind of synopsis and breakdown of those propositions, and also Texas Democrats, I think, also did it as well. But anyways, please grab your sample ballots, take a friend, even if you promise them a drink afterwards, whatever you have to do. Put the +2 for y'all in the camera who didn't show up. Take 2 people with you to vote, but please go out and vote. If you know anything about Houston, CD 18 is a historical district within Houston, and it has been vacant for almost 18 months, you all, since Sheila passed and Sylvester passed. And that representation looks like us. And they've intentionally not held the election. So there are a few candidates that are on CD 18 for voting for. I won't tell y'all who I'm rooting for because I don't want to influence your vote, but go vote. Yeah, we still looking for volunteers. See, need my team to remind me of the things that are needed. We do need volunteers for tomorrow, so please come out and do that as well.
All right. So let's see, that's tomorrow. Let's talk about tonight. Huh? It's Thursday everywhere. All right. So our Black Entrepreneurs Week, we are having a Founders Flame event tonight. We'll be at A1 Cigar Lounge. Please come on out. You're gonna have a smoke, or if you choose to partake, as well as some drinks and do some networking. We had just a great a group of folks that are saying that they're coming out. It's going to be an amazing time. But we'll talk about how to roll cigars, but then how to network over a conversation and fun social environment. So it's going to be amazing. Y'all come on out. That'll be a lot of fun. Then let's see. We got the 5th annual Black Entrepreneurs Week. The 5th annual. All right. Hey, that's November 29th through December 6th. We have over 8 days of programming, 11 activations, going on throughout the week. Please visit blackentrepreneursweek.com. Get your tickets, general admission, a VIP experience. We're always looking for emerging entrepreneurs to have a low-level sponsorship package where you get the same type of branding that another company, big company will have, JP Morgan Chase or whatever. But really the whole point of having that package is that one, you get your product out there, you get your services out there. We want you to have a seat at the table. It's crazy that, that experience alone, and we've seen, folks come out, volunteer their services and end up with jobs, right? Or they come out and then all of a sudden they have the right banker that they can go to for financial advice. They walk away with volunteers, right? So there's a lot that comes from it. You just have to be in the room. And I think Black Entrepreneurs Week in our first or in our 5th year, that's the opportunity to do so. So please, come join us then. More information to come.
Love it. From a Houston Exponential perspective, I'll mention 3 things. One is that we are looking for ambassadors, volunteers. So what happens is when you volunteer with Houston Exponential, we then go to folks that are having events and say, hey, do you need volunteers and things of that nature? So we are looking for ambassadors and volunteers for the ecosystem, not for HX or HDR, but just for the ecosystem so that you can go to multiple different types of events, because we're trying to make sure our events are actually coordinated and people are being seen all over the region. And so that also leads me to that we actually have a calendar now that got put out, I guess, last month. And it is all of the events that get posted. They're taking from the Ion, they're taking from the Canon, they're taking from the US Space. It's taking from all over the city, because we did not want people saying, I don't know what's happening in our ecosystem. So if you have events, please make sure it's on the calendar. It's free to do, and it's just to help everybody to get there. And then Capital for the Culture, who threw the event on Monday, which all of those folks in the back are a part of. They have an app, and it has a lot of the calendar for us. And so if you have events, you can, if you're on one, you're on the other one. But it's really, if you wanted a curated look at our ecosystem, you can also follow that. And then lastly, I cannot leave any stage without talking about H-Town Roundup. H-Town Roundup is March 30th through April 3rd. It is coming back. We are on our 6th year. And it started up as Houston Tech Rodeo, and now it's part of H-Town Roundup, because people like Legina gave us feedback saying, I'm not a techie, but I don't fit that mold. So we wanted to make sure it was a roundup of tech, innovation, entrepreneurship. And it literally is so that you can understand what this greater region has to offer. So if you're in space, you get to come and hear about energy. If you're in energy, you get to come and hear about sports. If you're in sports, you get to come and hear about music. And this year we are highlighting the recording studio. If you guys are not, the recording industry. If you guys are not aware, there just was some legislation passed in Texas to give incentives to people who are doing films. And Houston, in particular, through Houston First and the Film Commission, has passed an unprecedented as part of their legislation to make sure that people can film. I hope there's not a whole bunch of reality shows here, but if they are, okay, we'll welcome them. But you will see that this is about to change our economy from an entertainment perspective. So now that we have sports, music, and now recording as well. So you will hear about all of those March 30th through April 3rd. And it is all over the region. From the Woodlands actually kicking us off this year, and that is what it's for. We heard the biggest comment that we heard last year is, "I didn't know this was here. I didn't know there was a cybersecurity place from the NSA in the middle of town. I didn't know that the Woodlands had an innovation district. I didn't know that the US Space existed. I didn't know that the ION existed or Greentown Labs." So we try to make sure people understand everything that's out there, so that you can no longer say, "I don't know."
Give him a round of applause one more time. And even bigger clap for the US Space. Yes, yes, yes. We appreciate them. All right. Please, like they said, please continue to support this space and everything that they're doing in this building. Next time, I want to see some of y'all up here. All right. Akil, take it over.
Thank you. One more round of applause for this amazing panel. They're going to go ahead and take a photo.